Hey everybody, looks like you can barely see me in this episode, so it's not going to be very interesting to look at. Not that I'm interesting to look at any other video. But I think we're going to name this video Treacherous Times. And I don't know how long I'm going to be able to make it because I can hear the rain is picking up harder and harder. I thought it was going to lighten up, but it looks like it's getting worse. I'm on a 6% downhill grade. It's fog, pouring rain. I would love to see where I am at in the daytime. I just spent about 20 miles going up a mountain, twisting, turning, rock walls on the sides, but it's pitch black out and raining, so you can't really see where you are. But I'm somewhere in southern Tennessee heading into Georgia. And I believe I'm crossing over the mountain range that might make up the Blue Ridge Mountains. I don't know, somewhere near there. We know there's a lot of mountains at the bottom of the Appalachian chain, so I suspect I'm somewhere near there. It's either Highway 40 or 24. I'm not really sure. Just following GPS here. So I'm also following the lights of an 18-wheeler ahead of me. It's kind of guiding me. I'm in low gear. That's holding my speed back. I'm in 4th gear right now. I got the chevrons up ahead in a road telling me that there's a pretty sharp curve ahead. And yeah, and we're still going downhill. It's got to level out about sometime soon, maybe now. They're leveled out a bit there. Probably down the mountain right there. Yeah, because the speed limit's back up to 70 where it was 55. So that's not the half of it, though. The treacherous driving I did was really earlier today. Pretty much the same storm system. There was like 2 blobs of wet weather, lightning out. And just, as a side note, well, you don't see too much lightning up north until the summertime, so that's kind of a cool sight. There's 2 blobs moving across the U.S. right now, and earlier this blob of wet weather was snow in southern Illinois, and while they seem to have some reasonable gear, plow trucks, road spray, road salters, they seem to have that equipment. They also didn't seem to be as robust as what I'm used to living farther north, as you've heard in my other videos, in Rochester, New York, which is south of Lake Ontario in the snow belt. We're no strangers to thick snow for 6 months out of the year. And well equipped to plow it all. I can feel the van lifting up on the rain. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. So we caught some snow in southern Illinois. Everybody went slow. There was a one stretch that you could tell the highway was glare ice. And I had 2 reasonably scary events happen in the van I want to tell you about. The first is, the reason why is these tires are, and I was trying to drive not only for the conditions of the road, but the conditions of my van, which are tires that were good tires, but they're at least halfway worn down, which I know the tread will load up with water or snow a lot faster now. So it's to my best advantage to be mindful of my tires and not drive it like it's got brand new tires anymore with deep tread. So being mindful of that, I was following with traffic, not trying to horse it around or pass anyone or be a hot shot out there. And we were all running under the limit. And I came up around one curve curving to the left, a gentle curve to the left, where the wind was blowing on the left side of the van, blowing me off the road. I was turning into the curve, and all of a sudden I became aware that the van was not turning with the curve of the road. It was just drifting. It was drifting right off the side. And it was clear for a few moments that that was the end of my trip. It was about to go off the side of the road. The very first and foremost thing I instinctually knew to do was remain completely calm and be ready for two things. To let the van do whatever the fuck it wanted to do. Don't try to change anything. Don't alarm. Don't knee-jerk. Don't react. Just let the van do its thing. If it's going to take me off the road, it's going to take me off the road. I can fight and try to do something at the very last minute. The reason I can do that is because also being a driving instructor, being a safety driving teacher for a few years, and my experience driving in the Northeast Snowbelt, I had been looking ahead and I knew that I had a safe place to go. I wasn't in danger of smashing a guardrail or other traffic. There was a clear trajectory off the highway that I could have made it into without too much problem, other than probably getting stuck and maybe needing a tow truck, but it wouldn't have been a rollover or a steep ditch or trees or signs or anything. So I was able to let the van kind of do its thing, and with my feet, I let off all pedals. I resisted the urge to jump on the brake, but I also lifted off the gas because it is important. You want to get your speed back to basically your speed, or my speed was greater than the amount of traction I had. And if I could get down into a better speed, there's a chance that I could regain traction. So I let off the gas, but you don't want to upset anything. If you stop the wheels, they're going to go into a skid. If they go into a skid, you've officially lost control. The van is you're now the product of pure momentum. So with my feet let off all pedals, just kind of letting the van, just kind of watched it go off the road, going, wait, what the fuck? And the wheel gently trying to coax it back into the turn, but not giving it too much wheel. The van got onto the rub strip to the highway, and the rub strip gave it traction. I could tell that it didn't go past the rub strip. It stayed on the rub strip, so it was now curving with the curve of the road. The speed, it gave it time to reduce its speed, and now I was able to gently keep rolling right back into the lane and keep on rolling with traffic like no one knew what was going on. So that was pretty scary, but that wasn't the worst one. I smartly pulled off the highway for a while and was sitting there in a rest area. I'll tell you about this load. It's kind of a stupid load with a time-sensitive load, needing me to drive fucking 20 hours through the night. It's ridiculous, but some loads are like that, and I'm willing to kind of stick it out. So that being said, I kind of wanted to get back on the road, and the direction I was headed suddenly had no traffic. So I decided, after a while of sitting, using the bathroom, using the facilities, felt refreshed, I thought, let me hit the road again. So I got back down the road and was following at a steady 50 miles per hour, 50, pretty much 45 to 50, and was fine. I had to hold it steady because it was very, very slippery, and these tires weren't doing anything. And these vans are rear-wheel drive, and the extended version has a lot of weight, a lot of overhang, and that gives it the propensity to want to spin out. And these vans also have a lot of power, and they like to downshift into gear pretty quick. So if you give it any gas, it's going to want to downshift from 6th gear into 4th gear, and that's going to send your rear tires spinning and give you a problem. Well, I was driving down the road, and all of a sudden another ProMaster or a Ford Transit came along. Now he was a low roof, short box, and maybe had snow tires on. You know, you can't judge another vehicle. You can't do what they do just because they're the same style of vehicle. He had less overhang and perhaps had better tires equipped for the deal. I don't know, but he was going a good 10 miles an hour faster than me and blew by me in the left lane. Okay, I thought maybe it was safe enough for me to pick up speed, though. Bad idea. I didn't pick up speed. I tried a little bit, but I knew it was a little bit too slick to do anything else. A little while later, a ProMaster came by. Now, a ProMaster van is front-wheel drive. That's a different dynamic. That has the ability to pull itself through the snow. If a ProMaster loses control and gets his ass end out, he's not going to have a good time trying to control that thing, but as long as he keeps it pulling forward, he should be okay. He went by me about 10 miles an hour faster than me. At that time, I thought, let me try to get a little speed here. And I accelerated a little bit, and what do you know, my van downshifted, and instantly, at 50 miles an hour, the ass end kicked out sideways. Before it could go way out of sync, I had let off the gas, because I instantly knew, like, oh fuck, that's really bad. This is going to mean I'm in the fucking ditch. So I instantly let off the gas as the back end was kicking out to the side, and I just began to ride. I steered into it, knowing that the back end was kicking out to the right. I knew the next thing that was going to happen, it was going to snap back to the left, and if it snapped back hard enough, that was going to carry me around into the ditch. I was a little worried because with that heavy pallet in the back, it could act like a pendulum. Well, lucky for me, I once again did the same mentality. I let off the gas, and I just let the van do its fucking thing. Another lucky stroke was that at that moment, there was no other traffic around me. Had there been other traffic around me, I probably wouldn't have tried to accelerate anyway, so I wouldn't have had a problem. So, as it started to come back, as I let off the gas and it started to straighten itself out and wanted to come around to the left, I basically let the van drift almost into the left lane, so I'm straddling the middle of the road now. It got to that point, the speed had dropped, so it just kind of settled in back straight, and I gently eased it back in its lane and kept it at 45 miles an hour and said, holy fuck, thank you anything and everybody and everyone for keeping me somehow not getting into the ditch. And it wasn't a short while later that I saw a Mercedes Sprinter Expediter van, high roof, high top, long wheelbase, Expediter style, no name, no glass van in the ditch. Dude on his cell phone. And that's a dangerous place to be, because as other people get nervous and they slide out, they can slide right into you, and that can be a problem. There were 18-wheelers jackknifing into the ditch, so we got lucky. Within about 45 miles, I knew I was going to start heading south, and the temperature was going to warm up, and things were going to turn into rain. Luckily, no freezing rain, so we got basically through that with no further problems. Until right now. seems we've crossed our mountain range. I'm losing my voice, and we've made it through the big deal, and now we're just in the rain. And so, that being said, I'm going to let you guys go with my treacherous crossings video, and also tell you that before we go, the nature of this particular run. I was in North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota. I moved over to Fargo, and then from Fargo, I was told that afternoon, hey, you got to load out of St. Cloud area over to Georgia. Pretty good, right? We're going to a warmer climate, okay. But there's the typical not so good, but my load into North Dakota was really easy, so I knew I had to eventually gonna get a bad one, so here we go. Luckily only one skid, not very heavy. We got to the shipper, they didn't really know what was going on, but I got there a little earlier. They were very, very friendly. The whole town was very friendly, which I thought was really cool. Circle Pine, Minnesota. Got my pallet loaded by 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock was my arrival time. So, I arrived at 7:40 something. So, just to make sure that whatever delays didn't keep me too past after 8. So, I had a lot of daylight to drive in. So the deal was, though, the load is straight to Georgia. You only got till tomorrow morning. It's 20 hours of driving, and you got about 25 hours to get there. That sounds like you got 5 hours of sleep, but if you consider 4 to 5 gas stops at minimum 20 minutes apiece, and considering you might want to stop for lunch somewhere and just take a break, or you might run into snow or an accident or a highway backup, that really leaves you no time for sleeping. But luckily for me, since I got to move on and I kept my pace up through the beginning of the load, about 2 hours back, I was able to take a 2-hour cat nap at a rest area, and I feel refreshed, and I'm making this video for you guys with about 4.5, probably just less than or just more than 4 hours to go. So that's a little bit of a stretch, but it feels like the home stretch to me after this long-ass ride. So we'll be out of the rain. We'll be into the shipper. The shipper is 24 hours, so instead of taking a longer rest and getting it right to 11 o'clock, since they're open 24 hours, I know they'll take this load as fast as I can bring it to them. So I just assume get it over with, get it done, and then I can park the van and rest somewhere for real. And resting is going to be easy because in North Dakota at 16 degrees, the van doesn't like to heat up and you use all your diesel fuel. Where at more like, it's actually 60 overnight tonight. Even if it's 40, the heater will keep right up easy, running at half throttle there at level 5. The heater will run, keep your fuel all night, and keep you toasty warm if you need it. I can usually sleep at 50 degrees with no heater, so really good. And I'd love to have this pitter-patter of rain on the van, but I bet by morning it's going to be gone by the time I go to sleep. So that being said, that's the deal. One of these, fun expediter rides. Here's what you can get used to if you want to take this job. There goes a rest area. I would love to pull in there and rest, but that's not part of the plan today. That only slows you down. So I'm going to keep on chugging. 4 hours here. We got about 30 minutes to a pilot refuel. And I've got 80 miles left on the tank of gas, so we're running it low. I consider that low. You don't want to go past that in case you get to a remote area where there isn't a lot of gas options. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this talk, and it was informative to all you rookie van dwelling expediter type of people. I'm crossing over some body of water right now on a bridge. I don't know what the hell it is. It's pitch black. I can't see shit. And we got nothing but 18-wheelers and rain ahead. And, yeah. Alright. Have a great day. We'll see you sometime soon. We'll update you later. Enjoy. Leave a comment. And thank you for watching.